Let's get started with the live lecture. Today, the topic that was on my mind, and I was talking about it with someone, is about nostalgia. It's about the past. And for some reason, this is a topic that I see that a lot of people have issues with, or a lot of people, talk about it. For example, with you guys. How many of you guys have told me that you want to eradicate your old self to start, out with the old and in with the new? You want to start fresh and you want to, start implementing all the things that you have been learning and really, really, really get going. How many of you have attended to seminars, to events from other coaches, and you're still in the same fucking situation? I don't think it is the amount of events that you go, or the amount of live lectures you listen to, or the amount of coaches that you have, or even clothes that you have. I think it's an internal issue. So, nostalgia and the past is something that is there. It's there and it forever will be there. You see, we have a certain, how should we call it? We have a certain sweetness for the past, for the things that we have lived, and the things that we know we will never experience again. And we have a certain sweetness for it. We have like that longing for, those were the days. I remember the old days when I was doing crazy shit. Oh, those were the days. I remember when I had my six-pack. I remember blah, 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 right? So it is a normal condition for human life to look in the past and try to figure out the things that you loved, and you try to hold on to those things. It is normal for human lives. And this is only because you let your own psychology, your own intellect, to get in between you and the experience of the moment. Why else do you think that there's a lot of philosophies on live in the moment? This is simply because a lot of people live in the past. And also a lot of people live in the future. Not grounded, not seeing what it is. They're seeing things that are not there. A lot of dreamers that, they never accomplish anything in life. Well, there's a lot of people that live only on what they have accomplished in the past. I remember the day that I was on national TV. It was one of the greatest days in my life. Somebody contacted me and he wanted to interview me. I remember that with a little bit of nostalgia. But whatever happened in the past, you can no longer function in there, because think about Einstein relativity theory. Do you know that theory? Yes? Basically, that theory only states, very basically, I'm not a fucking scientist or a physicist, but on a very basic level, fundamentally what it says is time and space doesn't exist. It is completely relative to the person that it is experiencing it. Oh shit, now that is deep as fuck. Time and space, meaning time, age, the past, the future, that doesn't exist. Who you were in the past doesn't exist anymore. That is completely relative to the person that is experiencing it, life, the event. So time doesn't exist. And then I'll talk a little bit about space. Time doesn't exist. We created the clock simply to organize ourselves a little bit, but time doesn't exist. Time doesn't exist. Have you ever thought about that? So this idea that your life was better in the past, or this idea that something is holding you back, your old self, your old beliefs, they keep getting in between you and your new self, or you and your objectives. That is a wrong idea. Who told you that? Why do you believe that? If time doesn't even exist, why the fuck do you believe that you are the same guy in the past? I'm not even the same guy that I was this morning. For some reason we believe in today's society, or in society, in the world, in humans' lives and minds. One of the greatest standards that a man can have or a woman can have is to be completely stable and never change. Isn't that so? We believe that if you do not change and you always hold your standards and you hold your beliefs, then you are a stable, functional human being, respectable, reasonable, blah, 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 blah. And we believe that the people that change all the time, we think that they are unstable, that they are a little bit crazy, that they cannot be trusted. But you see, we got it all backwards. The people that embrace the change, they are the ones that are the most sane. The crazy people are the ones that are not crazy at all. That's something to think about. Because life is change. Because the universe is changing. Because the realities are changing all the time. This movement is changing. Continuous change. There's something that never changed, but I'm not going to get into that. It's like something like a little bit the nirvana, like there is a higher energy, a higher state of form of energy, a higher frequency that is always there, and you become part of everything, and you never change. You just become a part of everything. But I'm not going to get into that. So, who told you that these old beliefs are okay, or that they are due? I think you already know the answer for that. The only person that is saying that is you. The only person that is saying that to yourself is yourself, right? No one else is telling you that, in the past you were better. And if someone is saying that, it's very easy to point at them and say, oh, this motherfucker is saying that to me, you need to block them. If somebody is saying that to yourself, to you, hey, you were better in the past, or hey, you know what, you're never going to be able to change because of your old beliefs. You're never going to be able to accomplish your objectives because of your old values and blah, blah, blah. Whoever tells you that, you know that they're haters, you know that they're idiots, and you simply need to block them out of your life. At least for a period of time. If it is your mom or if it is someone that you really love, for a period of time, you just simply block them out of your life. And then, as you progress, they will come back. They always come back. So embrace this idea of adaptation, of change. I hate this idea that people need to stand in their own beliefs that they had since they were, born. For example, traditions. Traditions are bullshit, but we believe that traditions are sacred. Who told you that traditions were sacred? This is only one stupid motherfucker started to doing something in a specific way, and his people started doing it in the same specific way, and then his sons, and then his grandsons, and then it could carry on, it catched on, and then it became a tradition. What you don't know is that what we're doing, you and me, we're doing today, right now, we are creating the tradition for the next generation. And we're all fucked up. We're all fucked up. So we have this idea that people back in the day, the old people, our ancestors, they had it better, right? They were wiser than us, and they created the traditions based on the best values of humanity or human life, and that's why they were better than us. No, they were fucked up as well. They didn't have life figured out. They were still looking for the meaning of life. They were like, what the fuck do I do? But they were doing things in a specific way, and for some reason or other, it became a tradition. So don't think of that, Time is something relative to the person that is experiencing it. So age, for example, I don't look my age. How many times have you told me that? People in here, you students, have told me that I don't look my age. I'm 29 years old. I don't feel 29 years old. I feel like 100 years old. What's the fucking explanation of that? I've had conversations with people that are 60 years old, 50-something years old, and they have complete shit in their minds. In their entire 50 years in this earth, they have not experienced a single goddamn meaningful thing. They just repeat the same fucking bullshit, and they don't live life. In my short period on this earth, 29 years old, I've done more things than you and all of you put together. I bet my entire fucking existence on that. Not because I am better than you, simply because something that, one of the strongest values that I hold to myself is that I always push myself to the limit, and I always push myself to what's uncomfortable, to the unknown, because I want to experience life. I don't think about time. I don't think about all that. I am in the moment and I live it, because there's no other way. I'm not thinking about the future. I'm not thinking about the past. I'm just living fucking life. I'm experiencing life. So if I want to do something, I do it. If I don't want to do something, I don't do it. That's why you see me living my life so free. That's why I don't give a fuck about you or anybody else telling me something. Not because I'm a badass, not because I'm blah, 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 blah. It's simply because time doesn't apply. The rules of men don't apply to me. Time, space, all of that to me is nonsense. I don't understand it. This idea of age. Who the fuck created age? Oh, I know, I'm 29. Who the fuck told you that I'm not 29? For example, there's an old belief for the Mayans. People that, the people that lived in south of Mexico. You know the word, the Aztecs and the Mayans? The Mayans believe that, and still, the Mayans of today, if you go to a shaman, which they're not, they don't call themselves shamans, they call themselves priests or huicholes, something different. Because shaman comes from Siberia. It is a word outside of this culture. But, whatever. If you ask them, how old are you? They look at you very strange and they say, well, I don't believe in age. Me and my people, we don't believe in ages. We don't give ourselves age. We don't count how many times we've lived on this earth, because time to us is different. And your age is only determined, to them, it's only determined by the experience that you have in life. How much experience do you have? Maybe a 10-year-old has more experience than a 20-year-old. Huh? It all depends on the person. So it's relative. Alright? So this idea that you are being held back by an old belief or by an old self, it is complete bullshit. Destroyed when it gets destroyed once you understand that time doesn't exist. Time is fictional. It's something. It was invented. Now let's talk about space, because I just covered a little bit of time and space, the theory of relativity. Space doesn't exist as well, because, man, this is very hard. Whatever you think you are right now, whatever your identity you think, this is Eddie, this is Placido, this is Jason, this is Liz, this is whoever, this is Katie, whoever you believe you are right now, that is wrong. This is not your identity. You are beyond that. Beyond the body and the mind. So space is only determined by what you can see, and by what you can touch, by what you can experience with your 5 senses. And if you are high up there with your knowledge and with your wisdom and whatever, if you have been paying attention to some of my lectures, you can understand that you cannot trust your 5 senses. This is just a very small way of experiencing life, or the cosmos for that matter. So space is relative, because it has been proven that there are different realities. There are different realities within this same fucking reality. Right now, I can be living in a different place, in an alternate universe, right? You've heard that term. Right now, maybe right here, standing right next to me, maybe there's another person. How else can you explain ghosts? How else can you explain Metatron? How else can you explain spiritual and occult knowledge? They are there, but simply because we cannot enhance our perception, that's why we cannot see them. We cannot experience different realities. We only experience these 3 dimensions. So space is very relative as well. Relative to the person that is living it right now, at the moment. Man, this is some mind-bending shit. So with this, your whole reality should be shattered. It should be completely... It should explode. And you should be able to say, whoa. That's why I've said to you many times before that this is a game. This is a fucking game. Don't take it so seriously, man. Oh, but how do I destroy my old self? How do I destroy my old beliefs? It is the easiest thing that you can possibly do. It is like simply deleting something. It is like simply just exiting this fucking lecture. Simply you go. It is that simple. But since you believe that, oh, the mind, oh, you know, you hold the mind as the highest form of your life. And many parts of your body are super intelligent as well. But you think that the mind and the psychology is super important, and you live your life only through your psychology, only through your intellect. So your intellect, of course, is going to tell you, oh, no, do you remember back in the day when we wanted to improve with our image, but we couldn't do it, and people were laughing at us, and so you are holding yourself back on your own, and by something that is non-existent. Whatever the fuck you experienced in the past is in the past. It doesn't even exist anymore. It doesn't even exist anymore. It's in a matrix. It's in a place that doesn't exist anymore. It's in your karma. There you go. It's in your karma. The actions that you've taken. That's your karma. That's it. So instead of thinking about the past, you should be thinking about, what am I living? What am I experiencing right now? And be 100% involved in the moment. Be 100% involved in what's happening right now in this very fucking moment. Not in the past, not even in the future. A lot of entrepreneurs think about, yeah, you know, you should talk about your goals in the future, and you should write them. You should be, you know, the law of attraction. Whatever you're thinking in the future, you're gonna attract. No. That is bullshit. You know, don't think about that. Don't think about the past. Just experience life as it is right now. That's why you can, and I know that I always talk about myself because I have a huge ego. Fuck. I talk about myself because I am the best example that I can give. But I see a scientist talking about a flower. And then I see an artist talking about a flower. An artist becomes the flower. The scientist only dissects and starts to talk about what the components of that flower is. I prefer to become life. I prefer to become life. And whatever it is that I'm doing right now, I attack it like a fucking beast. If I'm doing my lecture, I'm doing my lecture. If I'm fucking my woman, I'm fucking my woman. If I'm taking a shit, I'm taking a shit. If I'm talking to my friends, I'm talking to my friends. If I'm doing a seminar, I'm doing a seminar. I'm not thinking about the past. I'm not thinking about the future. I'm thinking about what I'm doing right now. And this allows me to live life so freely and so fully and so blissfully, because I see things as they are, and I can experience and smell the roses, and I can taste my wine and truly live right now, experience life. What is life if not only brief moments? That is life. The future doesn't exist. That's why you get all stressed. The stress only happens when you have no control over the future. I don't know how am I going to do it. I don't know how it's going to happen. How am I going to sell this house? You don't even know if you're going to do it or not. So why the fuck would you even worry about that? Worry about what you have right now on your plate. Then worry about what's going to happen later. This is just the very first step for you to become truly free with your life. I'm not saying that you should live your life only like that. But even if you live your life only in the moment, it would be you would live and you will be more successful, you will live better than the 99% of the population. If you can truly live in the moment, if you can truly enjoy life as it is right now to you, as you are living it. If you can do that, you are going to be more successful than the most powerful human being on earth and the most richest man in the world. I can tell you that from the bottom of my heart. And thinking about the past doesn't exist. Remember the theory of relativity of Einstein. Remember this. Every time you catch yourself thinking about the past, think about that you're measuring time, and time doesn't exist. Time was created by humans. It is relative. A dog doesn't experience time the same as you and me. You know, God doesn't experience time as you and me. Even us humans, we don't experience life. We don't experience time in the same way. That's why we have Eastern time. That's why we have Pacific Standard Time. That's why we have Central Standard Time. You know, whatever your time right now is different than my time. So time is fictional. Time doesn't exist. So why even worry about what happened in the past? Yes, maybe if your karma, you know, you experience it and you enjoy, and nostalgia comes every now and then, and you enjoy the moment, you savor it, you have a certain sweetness for it, and you can enjoy the moment and say, I've lived a good life. You smile, but then you move forward. And by moving forward, I mean you experience life as it is right now. Liz, creo que ya llegó, está aquí afuera. Gracias. So, I've never said that. I've never said this before to you guys, but I don't understand what you. Well, I understand, but I don't accept when you tell me, how do I destroy my old beliefs? Fuck, man, don't say that. Don't say that. How do you destroy them? By realizing that they're false. They don't exist. Whatever beliefs you had in the past, they're gone. They're gone. Rewatch this lecture. Rewatch this lecture, because you think that holding a same belief, it is what you must do, you know? Oh, if I change too much, I'm going to be unstable. I'm going to be looked at as a crazy person. No. Embrace change. Embrace the unknown, because that is life. That's why a lot of people hold back to death, you know? They want to hold on to living, because I don't want to die. I don't know what's going to happen. No, I don't know what's going to happen. But I thrive and I enjoy the unknown, because that is the very essence of the cosmos. And you can only prepare yourself through meditation, maybe yoga, maybe something like that, maybe the occult. Oh man, it was beautiful. I truly enjoy doing this, you know. I've never told you this before, but I look at my own lectures and I enjoy, not because I love myself so much, but because I truly, every time I do a lecture, I give my soul, my heart, my everything. I give it on to you, to this fucking phone, to this piece of life, of technology. And when I see myself talking about it, I'm like, God damn, that is so true. And I really enjoyed this lecture. So if you have questions, now is the time. Thank you for attending.